These are a few of our random ass things. Welcome, folks. It's another episode of Rats. These are where Jesse and I talk about our random ass things. And today, I'm going to be talking about my new customizing studio. I have got a video to show. Unfortunately, the video, I ran into a whole day's worth of problems trying to get the video to upload yesterday. And so I'm going to have to share my screen and play the video, and rather than playing it through StreamYard, which is not the end of the world. And it's like 30 something minutes. But we'll kind of stop along the way if people have questions or comments. And I've got some friends. So let's bring some friends on and see who we got here. First off, of the Off-World show, the guy that's with me every single week, no matter what. We've got Joe Gonzalez. What's up, Joe?
Morning, Curtis and chat. How's everybody doing?
Now, I know it's Sunday morning and not Friday night, but are you allowed to kick tires and light fires on Sunday?
I'm Off-World. I do what I want. Let's kick the tires and light the fires. It's time to go to Curtis's
studio.
There we go. All right.
Awesome. Next, we've got the legend daddy himself, Jeff Ray Evans, husband of Liz Evans. If you don't know Jeff, you probably know Liz. She's been making the rounds on a lot of the different shows, very big in the community. So this is her husband, Jeff. So
hi, everyone.
Yeah, hey, Liz.
Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Rats today.
Yeah, thanks. And although he is the legend daddy, he prefers latex to leather. So, FYI.
The synthetic guy, I can feel that.
Yeah. Next, coming off of his show last night, I don't know if he even got any sleep. He might have just went from one show to another. From Oz's Clubhouse, we got Oz in the house. What's up, Oz?
What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Fine Sunday morning.
Did you get a couple hours? Maybe you had a coffee going? Okay.
I think I may have nodded off here and there. It was probably while we were live, and I just don't remember. But
show up that cool coffee there. What do we got?
The bootleg Toy Frenzy, which was the Thursday night show we did before we rebranded as the Frenzy, and then swirling around here. What's this? Oh,
nice.
Ramos Toys Clubhouse. I call it the bootleg because all I did was slap my stickers on my work.
That works. And really surprised that he's even awake this morning. We got Van in the house. What's up, Van?
What's cracking?
How we feeling today?
I'm hydrating.
Heavily. I hope. I'm hoping. I'm surprised you're standing.
Actually, I woke up hangover free. It was pretty amazing. You know, I didn't see that one coming.
Well, that's good.
Color me impressed.
Yeah,
that's good. Van made a splash last night on Oz After Dark. So check that out if you
crash
really
landing.
Want to see a train wreck.
Yeah,
I don't know that the Clubhouse audience was ready for all that.
No, he came in like a wrecking ball.
Damn it, I always miss the good ones.
Yeah,
it was fun though. It was a lot of fun.
You know, when we joined after PGG, the screen was full, and then slowly they just started falling off.
I watched viewership go from like 50 people down to like 25. We got down to 19, then we came back up to 30. I was like, man, this is a roller coaster.
Yeah. And after Van got off, there's a lot of anime and manga talk. So if you're into that stuff, if you like, wearing those red hats and stuff, check that out. So yeah, a lot of that conversation. We got some folks in the chat. I do have a or maybe two giveaways. We'll see. Depending on what the crowd wants to do and if they can get some friends in here and whatnot. But let's shout out who we got. In the meantime, while I'm shouting you out, let your friends know what's going on. If they're into customizing, maybe they are thinking about customizing, or they just like prizes. Let them know to jump on. And we'll kind of determine whether we're doing one giveaway or two. So We got Heinrich in the house. Heinrich he's been doing the Lord's work, and as new people come into the Cabal, he's been letting them know where to find stuff, customizing studio, where to find videos, helping them out. He has been a great brand ambassador for the Cabal. So just want to shout out Heinrich. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Kent Pool is out there. Saw he's got a new video this morning. I got to go check that out. Kent Pool Collects on YouTube. Amazing channel. Reviews toys as well as pools. He loves the comments. YouTube loves the comments. So if you go visit Kent Pool over there, make sure you leave a comment. We got Dirk out here. Dirk's Designs. We don't call him by any other name. It's just Dirk. And he says he's ready for this. We got JMax 77. Got Wholesome Warlock in the house. Benny's out there. Good morning. Blessings. Happy Sunday. Back at you, Benny. We got Michael Kaspar in the house. Double tribute guy. Got a tribute in 2 different toy lines within a year. Like that's impressive. That's impressive.
I will be shipping out a very special package to Michael tomorrow.
Ooh, I heard that. I heard you helped him complete his collection.
Yep, he was 1 figure short, and I just happened to have what he needed. So I will be sending out that tomorrow, and he will join the Completist Club very, very soon.
Yeah, Michael Kaspar, the double tribute and completist. Like he's just racking up titles right now. So we got Oz doing double duty on screen and in the chat. We got Guaisagway out there. It's a new StreamYard, so I don't have the Kent Pool introducing him, but it's Guaisagway Echevarria. He's out there. Let's see. We got Jeremy Govier. We saw him last night as well. If you want to know about dead naming, he gives a pretty good in-depth review of that. Purple Ray is in the house. That was on PGG, by the way. Got Darla Ackerman. I know her. King Castle Seizure. Nathan is in the house. Hope to see him in the customizing studio later. We got Brick something. Wow. Man.
What's up, Brick?
Morning, Brick.
Special. Got Jeff Ray doing double duty on screen and in the chat. We got William Golden out there. William, I love your paints. The Golden So Flats are amazing. Let me know if you can hook me up with special pricing. We've got a super chat already. $1.99 from Guaisagway. Can't wait to see the studio. Well, I can't wait to show you the studio. I am pretty happy with it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Some folks were talking about who was it? Michael V was on there in the Cabal and saying, about showing the videos and helping and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, man, like I've gathered so much knowledge from people that share these little tidbits here and there. So if anything that I do can help somebody, hey, that's awesome. Got the Euro Legions podcast. Those guys are fantastic. They have the best Patreon going. So in the community right now, if you're going to donate $1, $5, $20, there's another tier, but I'm the only one. There's only one inevitable tier. I am their top Patreon. And that's not a joke. You can ask them. They'll tell you I'm their number 1 Patreon. But I will tell you, no matter what dollar level, you're getting value for your money. That Patreon is amazing. They also have a store now on Redbubble where you can get the art of Richard Jones. And let me tell you, if you didn't get an individualized Richard Jones drawing like myself, because you're really special in art, you can still get some really good drawings from him on all kinds of different things. They got, coffee mugs and notepads and T-shirts and hats and a comforter. If you want to sleep underneath Richard Jones art like me and Darla do, go and get your comforter from Redbubble.
They are also the number 1 toy podcast for football also.
Oh,
I feel like Curtis is rubbing our nose in a little bit in this.
In what?
In the Richard Jones art and your status within the Richard Jones art community.
What else is there?
Here's what I'll say, and this is to if Mal ends up watching this, this is mostly to Mal, but art is subjective, And sometimes people don't truly appreciate what goes into art and the passion and heart that goes into it. And I do. I appreciate that from Richard. I see it. When I see his work, I see something amazing. And, you know, it's like when I look at Nate Barch's art, you know, like Richard Jones, Nate Barch, they like really those names should be mentioned right next to one another. I wouldn't be surprised if they start pulling Richard in to help with some box art for maybe some figure obscura and stuff.
I could see that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but I was on the ground floor. Like I was one of the first people that really encouraged him and said, "Hey, keep going with this because you're doing something special." So we got Rick Emmert in the house. Let's see. Kent Pool again. I know I called him out, but you know, yeah.
If StreamYard's going to StreamYard, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We got Jesse out there. Jesse from Just Shelve It.
Jesse.
The channel we're on right now. He says, "Hey, gang." Let's see. There you go. Right from the Eurolegions, Curtis #1, the inevitable tier. So, and Blake, aka Recon Rage.
What's up, Blake?
The shelf in January, just FYI. We just
Awesome.
locked that in. So, all right. So we got 29 folks watching. I do have a or two giveaways. We'll see. We'll see what you guys say. So, well, let's start with this. Let me embiggen myself here.
Do it.
Let's do this. Okay. So first off, I've got this Cyborg, McFarlane Cyborg. This is a great figure. If you're into, you know, McFarlane, you're into Justice League, anything like that, or if you just want to use this as custom fodder, this would make maybe a nice cosmic figure. I don't know. What do you think, Jeff? You're the cosmic expert. What do you think about making this?
I mean,
cosmic?
McFarlane's been making some great fodder for us all, especially the weapons packs. So yeah, but that big blaster.
Yeah,
go for it.
I mean, so I've been collecting McFarlane mostly to put together like my bigger version of the Superpowered Justice League that I had when I was a kid, and I've been waiting on a good Cyborg because all the ones that they had been put out were the movie ones, and I really didn't like it. Didn't have enough of that kind of superpowers appeal. This feels a little bit closer to that. So I had ordered one on Amazon, and I was telling the guys earlier, I got an email one day that said that it was going to be like 2.5 more weeks. It was delayed. And then my daughter saw one in the store. She's like, "Hey, do you want me to pick it up?" I was like, "Absolutely." Like, I'll cancel the pre-order. So she picked it up. I went to go cancel the pre-order, and they said, "We can't cancel this. It's getting ready to ship." The same day that they just said it was going to be 2.5 weeks. And then I got it the next morning. So I ended up with 2 of these. So I got an extra one. So I've got this as a giveaway. I've also got Fisher Rice. I talked about this on Offworld the other night, but this is my new favorite Cosmic Legion figure. This surpassed the Sentry. I never thought anything would surpass the Sentry, but this is it. And the reason being is that this thing is just jacked. It is loaded. You got 4 heads, you got 3 necks, 2 chest pieces, you got 2 sets of arms, 2 sets of legs. And then the details, the paint details on this are spectacular. Joe Vasapola was in the Legions chat the other night, kind of talking about the weapons and stuff. And, you know, when they're having a lot of like parts reuse and things that, you know, they're kind of getting the most out of their tooling and stuff. It's like, okay, how can you take those same pieces that people have seen and make them better? And what they did was they really just put a lot of paint apps into the weapons. And it came out fantastic. So I actually have one of mine here next to me. So I opened this one up on Friday. And you can see just like on that gun there, like all the different paint apps on there. Like that thing is just fabulous. And then there's enough parts in the box that you can just mix it with the Sentry, which is now the #2 Cosmic Legion. And look at that. You can get 2 awesome figures out of one box. So these things are going fast. If your retailer still has them, you know, check out Wolf King, check out, you know, the other retailers. If your retailer has them, I would get them while the getting's good, because once they're gone, and you're going to be paying money on the aftermarket for this thing. So yeah, this is fantastic. So I got one of these to give away, and I got this little little baggie here, and this baggie has got a bunch of heads. I'm gonna give you. You're gonna get some head from Curtis. So I got 10 heads in here. Okay. So you got alien guy, big noggin alien guy. Probably not gonna focus, but you got long-headed alien guy. Getting some cosmic stuff here, Jeff. Are we appreciating this? Oh man, Joe had to move his head to the side because of the logo. That's yeah. Let me take the logo off so that Joe doesn't.
It was kind of a gag for a while. Yeah.
Here's a big-eyed alien, right? You got kind of your standard like gray alien autopsy, probing you kind of alien, right?
My favorite.
Dan knows about that. You got this one here.
Nice.
Right. Kind of more of it's a helmet, but it's kind of like a duck-shaped helmet. You got this guy with the cool ears. I really like his like finned out ears. So a lot of different aliens, some helmeted heads. It's got some canisters on there, some breathing apparatus and whatnot. This is kind of your more standard, sleek looking helmet. You got this guy with the I don't know what those are, little tentacly.
The Fu Manchu.
Little Fu Manchu antenna or something. And last but certainly not least, my favorite of the bunch. I'm getting ready to paint one of these myself. You may even see something on my whiteboard as we go through my tour. This is the Cosmic Kitsune, and this thing is just, dude, look at that. That's beautiful.
Star Fox. Yeah.
Yep.
So I didn't say it. I don't know. Maybe you'll see it on the whiteboard. We'll see.
Of course.
Yeah. So here's the question. I'll pose this to the group. Do we do this as one giveaway? We do one giveaway. You get the cyborg, you get the Fisher Rice, and you get the heads. Do we do a giveaway for the heads and a separate one for Fisher Rice and one for cyborg?
Winner takes all.
One giveaway, 2 giveaways, 3 giveaways. So let me know in the chat what you guys think. Once again, tell your friends. We're gonna kick off this video here in a second, and then we'll stop at some point and do a hashtag. I got to remember how to do that. Isn't there like a StreamYard / giveaway or something? I don't do this.
Yeah, StreamYard giveaway tool.
StreamYard.com / giveaway tool.
Just type in that on Google and it'll be like the first thing that pops up. StreamYard giveaway tool.
Stop yelling at me.
Or will it?
Yeah.
Do it now.
Come on.
Yeah. I don't need you to yell at me. Damn. All right. Here
well,
we go.
if you listened, we wouldn't have to yell.
Okay.
If you had a bookmark,
that wasn't even really raising my voice, Curtis.
Okay.
I had a boss that said that to me once. You don't have to yell at me. And I said, if you listened, I wouldn't have to. And he said, now I know why you've been divorced so many times. And then I had to laugh on it. Yeah.
So I have started collecting. If we're only doing one, if we're doing 3, whatever. The first one that we're doing, I've already started collecting the hashtags, but I haven't told you the hashtag yet. So you can feel free to guess. Otherwise, I'll give that to you here in a little bit.
I think it's unanimous if you look at the chat.
I was going to say a lot of people are saying go for 3.
So, really?
The people have spoken on this one. I say 3.
Let's see. We got.
Was not expecting.
Checking to see. I think we had a few more people join. We got Eric LeBron out there. Amazing customizer. Appreciate it. He's here. We've got Fausto jumped in. We got Miguel Gomez. Nice to see him here. We were just kind of chatting a little bit today. So let's see. Gina jumped in. Gina's been working on some customs lately. Hope to see her in the studio today.
Right on.
Scroll down. We got Van doing double duty now.
Always.
So yeah, I see separate 3 giveaways, 3 giveaways, 3 giveaways. Van says 1. Yeah, 1. Hey. Looks like 3, 3, 3, 3. Another 1, but that's Van as well. Your allegiance says 1. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like 3, but so I guess we'll go ahead and pull up the first one then, since Let me present. I don't think I can present. I won't. No, I'll just put up the banner because then I don't have to present. So the first one is just hashtag rats. And we will do the cyborg first. So there we go. Hashtag rats.
How do you spell that?
RATS.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
there we are.
So hashtag rats. I'm going to. I can do it.
Is the Y silent?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
very silent.
Let me do it.
Almost non-existent.
Let me do it as a.
Only if
I use duct tape. Silence that Y.
Kinky.
Let me do this as a ticker instead, so it doesn't take up as much room.
No. Because only duct tape can take no into
Oh, Jordan, clip that, please. That was tremendous. Ouch, I've got a cramp. Oh, that hurts.
Always fun here.
I need a banana and some water.
There we go. Rats for the cyborg giveaway. Got a bunch of people putting in rats. Question for the customizing studio: should I use black primer for weathering? Technique on a McFarlane figure. Sure, why not? I when in doubt, I always prime black. There's some times where I do something different, but black is a really good starting place. So, all right.
Do you ever tape them off and like do the faces separate, or do you just full black tape? Yeah,
sure. Or liquid mask from Vallejo or whatever.
Okay, so Silly Putty actually works really good for masking like helmeted faces.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
It's in all the curves. Nice.
And
if I'm in a hurry, I'll use Blue Tack. If I'm not, I'll use the Vallejo liquid mask. Works really well. So
I'm gonna have to try that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But Silly Putty's less than $1 and does the same thing. So
okay. Yeah, I mean that's what my Blue Tack does, and it's free because it's on my desk. And once I've purchased something,
does it peel off smooth? Because I've had problems where they, it'll stay with like pieces stuck in there.
That's the problem I have with Blue Tack.
The great thing about Blue Tack is if there's ever any Blue Tack anywhere and you're trying to get rid of it, the answer is more Blue Tack. You just use more Blue Tack and just pop on there and
tap it in there
right up. Yeah, it just comes right
off. All right.
Yeah.
How's it for cleaning up blood?
I'm not sure. I
peroxide, man. Peroxide.
Peroxide. If it pools up, I would have to go to Kent Pool because he's the expert on pools.
Oh, good point. So. Good point. Let us know in the comments, Kent, after the video is posted, because YouTube apparently enjoys comments afterwards.
And Kent likes comments.
Curtis has pledged never to sleep again. As long as you're commenting, he's responding. So.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up and play the video. And when I do that, I'm going to have all of us muted. If anybody needs to talk, feel free to throw up your hand and I will stop the video. We will, answer any questions, whatever. I will try to keep an eye on any questions or comments in the chat. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, Van first down below.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to see what your response time was going to be on the hand raising. So
it's going to be
pretty good. I got my answer. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff. No, not Jeff.
False alarm.
Brick says, so you use actual Silly Putty then, Joe?
Yes, that is correct.
But Silly Putty you would have to purchase if you don't already have it, whereas Blue Tack, most of us already have, because once you purchase something, it's free.
Already have Silly Putty.
But I don't.
Before the Blue Tack.
Yeah, what are you even doing? Just like the figures that I'm giving away today, they're free because I already paid for them. So
it's Silly and it's Putty. Why don't you already have some?
If you win any of the giveaways, because I'm not paying anything for it other than ship. You can thank me for the shipping, but the figure itself is free because it's in my collection. So yeah. All right. Here we go. Let me pull up the video here. Oh, that guy's cute. All right. I will now mute us and start the video and we'll go from there. So muting, and go.
Okay.
Joe, go ahead.
I couldn't hear you. Anybody else?
And I just did a test on this, and they said that they could. Now you can't hear. Yeah, Jeff.
It's muted yourself.
Because I muted. Okay. See, that's why we keep Jeff around. He is the legend daddy. So I will mute these guys and not me. So here we go. We got Van. Yes, Van.
I also could not hear you. I just want that to be known.
Thanks, Van. I appreciate that.
And I think you should probably unmute yourself, like Jeff Ray said.
Well, I appreciate you letting me know that. This is the first time hearing of that.
Here for you. Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. We're going to try this again. Take 2. Okay. Time to do a little video of my new customizing studio. Yes, Van.
I can hear you now.
Thank you, Van.
You might want to ask the others, but yeah, I could definitely hear you.
Yeah, I think everybody's good now. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who've been watching the channel, may remember my daughter moved out recently, and so through some shuffling of things in the house, I was able to create a space specifically for my customizing. So I'm going to do a quick kind of tour of the new area. So looking into the area, we've got a nice sign there with our logo, me and Darla. It's a little hard to see on the camera. I've got some pictures that I'll throw in, but basically kind of here is my space. You got Buddy in his bed, number 1. And this just kind of walking into the area. So this is my desk setup, which we'll see from the other side in a second. As we walk in, we've got a wardrobe here that is filled with Legions. So pretty much everything in here for the most part, I have multiples of. And then there's some stuff at the bottom that are all singulars. So single figures. These are my parts. So this is kind of how I have my parts laid out. So like you see, this one here is Mythic Legions, waist, loin, and belts. Open that up, and it's just kind of filled with the different things. These, they used to have them at Home Depot. They now have them at Walmart. And I think I don't want to say the price because I don't know for sure, but I want to say they come in like 2 packs for, I don't know, $10 to $15, something like that. But those are really nice. But I've got a lot of them. Like when I only had 1 or 2, these were really cool. Now that I have like whatever it is, 18 or something, it can be a little cumbersome. I might need to switch to something with more like of a drawer thing. So here I've got a whiteboard that I put up here. Anybody notice anything?
No.
No. Okay, cool.
I see. Me.
Yeah. Jeff, yeah.
Sitting Miklo.
Sitten Merlot. So that was mine and Darla's characters from WoW. So I will be
right on.
Awesome.
So, yes. Those have been also in the works for like 2 years though. So don't expect them anytime soon because I'm slow.
Are those garbage bags in the background?
That is a sewing machine with a cover on top of it.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I got a sewing kit last night. It was full of cookies.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like Van down
below. Can you tell me more about that beaver?
Yeah, it's hairy. It's kind of small, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for it to be small. But yeah, I really haven't spent much time with it lately. But I plan to get back to it. So
yeah.
How long did it take you to sort all that stuff into those containers?
So you'll see later, I've got like this box that I keep under my desk. That's kind of a catch-all. Like as I open up figures. So like I just opened up the 2-pack, the Cosmic 2-pack, right? And I'll put together the figure the way I want to. And then all the extra parts kind of go in that like catch-all box. And then once or twice a year, I do like a sorting where I go to the kitchen table, kind of spread everything out, do, feet here and hands here and loin pieces here, and like just sort it all out, put it in those bins, and that's typically when I have to go and buy more and kind of spread it out and make it like it used to be. Like all of the lower body was in one container and all the upper body was in, and then it just kind of kept growing. So
I know.
LeBron says can't find those damn totes anymore at Walmart. Maybe try online. Sometimes Walmart.com. I've had luck with that.
I've also found them on Amazon.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's basically a company that makes it and then sells it to other companies to sell. That's why, you used to see it at Home Depot and then you started seeing it at Walmart. It's all from the same company that makes it. They just brand them different ways.
So I wanted to just take a moment and point out J-Mac's comment.
What's that?
I want to take a moment and point out J-Mac 77's comment.
Cabal Cribs, I dig it.
I'm all for it. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
King Castle Studio said, will you post pictures later for reference? Love watching studio setups to get inspired. I do have a post in the Cabal with all a bunch of different pictures in there from the setup and on my Instagram. So either one you can check out.
Dinosaur egg omelets.
Miguel says there's a smaller versions at Ross that he's seen pop up. Eddie says Harbor Freight has them as well. So yeah, you can find them at different places. So gonna continue with the video now. Here we go. My brain is very scattered and I lose track of things super easily. So just kind of having an idea of what things that I need to work on is good. And that'll kind of work its way into some of the other things. Van, yeah.
I don't think you muted me.
No, I didn't. I figured we've now learned kind of the process and we can just go like this. Is that not a safe way to do it? Should I just mute you and leave everybody else unmuted?
Just mute Van.
Yeah, I feel, yeah. I have no impulse control.
You just got a lot of spare heads that I will be working on at some point, but I've got more parts that I could paint in probably the next 20 years. So here's my inspiration wall. So got a picture that was done by Jeffrey.
Love that.
Who's all in the Wolf King Team Wolf King picture?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that. Some art by Emil Wickman, kind of the Wolf King crew. Got Len and Steven and Walter DeMarco and Jeremy and myself, and then Emil in the middle. And then a few little shout outs here and there in the picture. So when Emil did this artwork before he did, without telling us kind of what he was doing, he just asked us if we were playing D&D, what would be the character that we would create for ourselves. And each one of us said these different things. So Jeremy wanted to be a rogue and I wanted to be an orc and Steve wanted to be a barbarian. Emil, of course, is a paladin because he's a goody. Walter DeMarco said a dwarf. And Len, I want to say a ranger, but he definitely wanted a bunch of pets and stuff. So he's got a chicken and a cat there. So Van.
I couldn't help but notice you mentioned D&D, and I also like dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're fun. Shout out Armies of Ashmore. So those guys just signed that a couple years back, so that's cool. The amazing work of Nate Barch, my favorite art that he's done. One of my favorite characters, definitely top 5, Hera. Love her. She's awesome. And then, of course, you can't talk about great artists like Nate without talking about the great art of Richard Jones. Amazing one of one piece. You can maybe see in the corner there, one of one. So if you are interested in this piece, I'm sorry, there is not another one like it. You are out of luck. Not to brag, but here I've got my buddy, the Office Troll. The soft goods up top was created by the Strups a few years back. You've got the little Casio watch by Bill Mancuso. And then I added some glasses, stapler, got to have the swing line. This is the actual swing line from the 70s, the little tiny one. And then gave him some pants. So he's my little buddy. Here's a DTOF that I will be using for my finished customs that I have for next year. I'll skip over this part for a second and come back. There's another DTOF for my finished customs. You can see so far the only one that I have for Legion's Con this upcoming year is the Cobra Khan that I just finished. I did do another figure, but I gave it away as a present. So that's from Mythic Bits. Got that just recently. And here's the sign. You can see a little bit better up close with me and Darla. This is artwork that was done by Jesse Arnold. If you need a logo, Jesse makes amazing logos. And this is what I've used on our stickers. And now just having it up in our studio. One of the things when I was starting on working on the studio, I was asking for suggestions from people in the Cabal, and Brian Burke had said, kind of find something to make it your own, brand it, and it'll make it feel more like your space. And he was 100% right. So love this. Thanks, Brian. You rock. Let's see. Do one of these Brian's. Right there.
You got to finger it.
Okay, coming over this wall, got
at this point, Jeff.
The sign. Where did you go to order such?
I kind of figured that was going to come up. It is a company called Signize.com, I believe. Let me just double check this.
EYES.
Was that with an I or an O?
It is. The company is Signize, so it's SIGNIZE.US. And I'll tell you the good and the bad. The good is they were excellent to work with. Like you basically, you start the conversation, you kind of tell them what you want, what size, you download an image. They ask you, like what format you want it in, because they make signs for a bunch of different buildings, and some want them kind of hanging off the side, some want them like flush against the wall, some you're going to hardwire, some, not. So they're really good to work with. The sign came out amazing. But the lights inside, I could not get them to work at all. Like it came with a cord that was coming down, had no plug on it. There was no plug on the cord, and inside was a bunch of LEDs. And so I went to Home Depot, got a plug, put the plug on it, plugged it in. It like just flashed once, went off, nothing. So I had to tear all those lights out on the inside, and I ended up just wiring it with the lights that I put on my DTOF, which actually worked out really well, because now I've got one remote control that you'll see later in the video where I can control the lights to my desk, the DTOFs, and the sign all in one remote control. So happy little accidents there, but the sign itself came out great. The lighting, I don't know, if you're going to go through them, I would suggest maybe just getting a light up sign without the lights. You're probably going to save some money. Van.
You went to a lot of detail about the steps and the tech support that you did on your lighting system, but I did not hear you say whether or not you restarted your router.
No, I don't think. Why would I restart my router?
I don't know, but that's usually tech support. Tip number one is to restart your router, and that may have actually saved you a lot of time going home.
No, I did try to unplug the sign and plug it back in, though. That's usually the first step.
Yeah, that's true. My bad. Yeah, absolutely.
At this point, we're going to go ahead and do the first giveaway. I'll give you guys a few more seconds. I am not doing the whole limit one per person, whatever. So don't be like, I want the other prize better, and so I'm not going to put in for this one. Go ahead, put in for it. Like worst case scenario, you give it to a friend or you use it for fodder or whatever. So give you guys a few more seconds on that. And let me pull this up on the other screen. We're at 27 out of 40 people. So yeah, throw it in there. If you're on the screen and you're like, hey, I'm actually on the show, I don't know if I should put in for it, whatever, put in for it.
Yeah, do it
in the chat. Yeah, throw in for it. Once again, this is for the Cyborg figure. So Cyborg, awesome character, awesome figure.
If you have multiple accounts, log into those,
Yeah,
And
that
also do
that
the
we're not
hashtag.
doing, but
Yeah.
all right.
Wait, you didn't establish that parameter before, so
we're gonna
my
go
account's
ahead.
already in there.
Okay.
27 accounts.
All right. Well, now we know. Don't give it to Van if he wins. So
yeah, no,
we are at
that
32, and we are going to go ahead and spin for the first prize. So here we go.
Oh, somebody hit the like button.
Click, 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 and Thanos.
Yes!
Thanos.
Very nice.
Congrats, Thanos.
Hanging out with Thanos last night. So
yeah.
I mean, he might be able to turn this cyborg into a helicopter. We'll see. We don't know. We don't know what he's gonna do.
Congrats on the win, Thanos.
I want to see the cyborg on one of those Wednesday hump days.
I was gonna say it's a future Wednesday post now. He's gonna have Cyborg just doing a helicopter, not necessarily turning into a helicopter.
Let's see. We got we'll do some heads next.
Give us those heads.
Okay.
We Legendary Prime demands head, guys. Come on, let's make it happen.
We got here hashtag head from Curtis. So, and that is the 10 custom heads that we showed earlier. A lot of aliens. You got some helmeted heads, and then my favorite, the Kitsune cosmic head, which is fantastic. So start.
Sounds like Legion's Con all over again.
Yeah, similar. So, and then I will go back to the video. So let's pull that back up, and here we go. Little motivational thing from Dirk, my friend. He helps me to eat like a king by providing me all the good stuff. Yes, Van.
There's actually somebody that wants to wave at the screen, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. Let me. Oh, hey there, Jordan. Hi. Jordan. We heard you've been painting. Yeah.
There he is.
There he is. He is there.
Please resume video. I'm sorry.
He's so wholesome.
Yeah, this is, much like the Richard Jones, this is nice. This is another nice piece to my collection. Love this. This is this just makes me happy. So
that's phenomenal.
Some more amazing art by Nate Barch. You got Frankenstein's creature there. I think the best packaging art that he. I'm sorry, I got to pull this up because if you watched TV last night, you know how great this comment is. All right, here we go. Really killed that. So nice work. And then here you've got just kind of a little dresser. I've got some more like 3D parts here, some extra heads, some weapons and armor, and then some different sets down here like that go together. Here you got the Billy Caravan, the donkey I still need to paint, and then just some like alligator clips and stuff for customizing. In the drawers you've got here's just some extra paint brushes, tape, glue, all that kind of stuff. You can check out my video on the Just Shelve It channel for all the kind of tools that I use for customizing. Here's another drawer, glue gun and blue tack and dropper bottles and alcohol swabs and all that kind of good stuff. This one is a little bit emptier. I got some sculpting, the epoxy sculpt in there, some more alligator clips and things. Down below that, I kind of got like my backup paints. So these aren't my primary ones, but I use these, I do use these on occasion, but not as often as the ones you'll see in a minute. So here's some backup paints. And then same thing on this side. Got some more backup paints. Down below here, you've got some kind of work in progress projects. So each one of these little containers here is kind of like
part of a project that I've been toying around in my brain, but haven't really got to.
Yeah, Oz.
Can I just commend you on your organization skills here, Curtis? I'm really impressed by this. Thank you, sir.
The drawers are a little messy, if I'm being honest. But at least I know where everything's at. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're
Look at that.
And then this
Also,
has
your foot skills.
but
Yeah,
Thank you.
some pins,
Oh, Joe wasn't supposed to see this.
stickers. This I probably need to send to Joe. Little
What?
like died or something. I found it. I need to send it. The rest of this is kind of a cluster, so pay no attention.
Yeah, you didn't see that, Joe.
Okay. See what?
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick look at like the overall customizing area, and then I'll go part by part.
Was it your beak?
You're a pervert.
This is kind of the overall area. So what we've got starting on this side, you've got your air compressor for the airbrush. You got a heat gun there. Got to have a heat gun to heat up parts and stuff, or hair dryer, or kettle or something.
Yeah, Van.
Down here,
Is that underneath the air compressor?
So the desk that I got had this like little, almost like a cart. And it looks like it has wheels on it, but it really doesn't. The wheel shaped things are really just plastic. They don't spin. And I guess it was to put your CPU on so that it's off the ground and doesn't heat up as much.
Vent.
And I was like, what am I going to use this for? Because I don't have a CPU to put under here. And I was like, I'll put my compressor on it. Kind of same idea. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
below, we have got just some airbrush stuff. So some cleaner, some more cleaner because I ordered too much cleaner, more cleaner.
I want to win some of that.
Some flow improver, got some thinner, got some primers in here, and then some like actual airbrush paints from Citadel. I put
Yeah, Van.
Was that also VCR head cleaner in there too?
No, it is not. It's not.
You really went all out on the airbrush stuff, though, huh?
Right. Yeah.
I typically
Thank you,
dive
Joe.
in pretty head first, which is why I've got a huge box of classifieds in the garage that I'm not using right now. Which, by the way, I'll be selling in a mystery box type format at MuskeeCon that I'll be putting a very good price on. So if anybody wants kind of an instant classified collection, come to MuskeeCon and I'll hook you up with a good price. So
put in these dropper bottles. The Citadel. I love Citadel paints, but the Citadel pots are shit. So
I'll stop there just to let Van comment because I know he has some thoughts on Citadel pots.
Yeah. What's the F-bomb count limit on this stream? Because I'm going to exceed it. Yeah. No. Citadel pots might be great for some people. They're not for me. I'm actually, you know what, Curtis? I'm going to blame it on me. It's not Citadel. It's me. I don't know how to close the fucking lid properly. And it gets all gunked up. And then, you know, what are you going to do? You going to sever a fucking finger going in there with an X-Acto knife, cleaning it up? I'm not going to do that. So instead, I just slam my hand onto it. And I have bruises. I have bruises now, Curtis, on the insides of my palm from like smashing it into a table. And I broke a table once trying to close these fucking things that never really close. And so then you go to paint something, right? Because you got to have that special shade to get your flesh tone and your customs just fucking right. But then what? Nope. You've got completely solid Citadel paint because it didn't close properly. And we don't all have 17 hours per individual Citadel pot like Curtis over there to fucking put them into a special fancy bottle that's even got the name written on it because yeah, wow, I'm done. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Can we continue?
Yeah, we'll do. I do have a couple things in the chat that I wanted to pull up real quick. So let me minimize this. So is Darla's work area separate from your work area now? Okay, so so in the past, Darla plays her computer here. So she plays a lot of World of Warcraft. That's how we met. I don't play anymore, but she still plays. I think she's looking for her next husband. I'm not sure.
but she plays here typically. And I was painting across from her in the living room. I just had like a foldable TV stand thing, TV tray, with one of the magnifying lights and stuff on it. And I would do all my work there, which was really not much space. And then when she works, like if she's working on soft goods or any sort of clay stuff, she does that upstairs. She's got a work area in our bedroom that she does her stuff at. So if she is working on capes and stuff, now my area is outside of that room so we can talk to one another while we're working. If she's down here, I still have that set up down here to where if I want to just come down and paint, I can. I bought an extra wet palette. I bought an extra magnifying light, an extra like water pot and stuff, just so that I can do some easy projects down here if I want to. So no matter whether she's on World of Warcraft looking for a new husband or upstairs working on capes, I can be nearby. So wanted to call that out real quick. Dave Orkin says, I thought airbrush was the devil. Here's the thing, Dave. I am a complicated man. And I have very strong opinions, but I'm also not opposed to learning and growing and changing and becoming a better person. So sometimes I will take a strong stance on something, and then I will find out that I was wrong. And then, you know, I just kind of change and get better.
In Missouri.
Yeah. So
very, very proud of you, Curtis. Takes a lot to admit that. So I'm proud of you.
Yeah. And you could be like Jesse and be like, I thought you didn't like the female figures. Now you like the female figures. And I would like the female figures the whole time. Okay. Well, that means that you're just staying stagnant and you're not growing, but I am growing. So which one of us is actually better? The one that's liked the female figures the whole time, or the one that's changed his attitude and, you know, has now diversified his collection a little bit more? So think about that.
That's an interesting spin to put on it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you already are doing a lot of good things, you have less potential than somebody that's doing nothing. So think about that. Okay.
So be a bad person first so that you can become a good person later.
Exactly.
Speaking of growth, I feel like Curtis took 2 steps forward and then just completely fucking regressed by attacking Jesse.
Like I said, I'm complicated.
Yeah.
Very complicated.
Your Legions also said Citadel pots are shit. So yeah, I'm not going to disagree there. What you're saying is that you got your new work area because she kicked you out of her space. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I got my new work area because one of my kids left my house, and I'm super stoked for it, and I can't wait for the other ones to leave as well.
I wonder if the Lens are going to if Brian's going to cut the power to his house so that his wife doesn't see this stream and see how people can have separate workspaces, because you're going to start giving some ideas that maybe people don't want to get out there, and you're going to break up a happy home and a happy sweatshop. So you need to dial it back, Curtis. You need to dial
we got Darla in the chat says she can't even handle one husband. So I didn't realize she was watching. She is upstairs working on clay, and I did not realize she had this on. So
thinking about paper towels when she said that. So yeah.
I will say this little piece of paper, I don't address this in the video, but one of the, I do a lot of YouTube watching for learning, whether it's painting with a, brush, painting with the airbrush, whatever.
YouTube University.
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube, and one of the ones that I was on, and I can't remember right now. If I can remember it, I'll maybe post it in the comments afterwards or something. But he had just like a downloadable PDF that had, you could print up these sheets that had like little circles and lines and stuff that as you're practicing airbrushing, you can just kind of trace those things and get better at the detailed work of an airbrush. The other thing that you can do, and I'm no expert by any means, so if there's airbrush experts out there, feel free to tell me that I'm stupid. But another thing you can do is just get like some 3x5 cards and just kind of practice on that, just like especially the lined 3x5 cards, and just practice kind of like on the lines of the 3x5 and just get your hands steady at it. So just FYI. Let's see. Benny says, keep growing, Curtis. That's what makes you awesome. Thank you. Like in the famous words of Bruce Lee, be like water, my friend. Awesome. I will be moist just like water.
So looking at the comments, I now understand why why the world is not being flooded with Darla Ackerman capes, which are quite possibly some of the best capes that money and or warm hugs could buy. Fuck, Curtis, that's a revelation.
She has a drawing table that doubles as a sewing table. Well, let me tell you something about Darla, because apparently we're getting real here. So let's get real. And let me make myself a little bit bigger, not quite big, but Darla used to do a lot of drawing. If you go to her Facebook page, there is a folder in there that has a whole bunch of amazing sketches that she did. And then she kind of moves on and moves to something else. So yes, it was a drawing table. Now it's more of a sewing table because she doesn't do much drawing anymore. Similar to how we got a treadmill at one point that she was using, and then it became a towel rack that would hold our towels.
Yeah, coat rack for me, but yes.
Yeah. Multi-purpose. I like that. They're great tools.
So you buy a tool and you start using it for one function, and then when you decide to stop using it for that function, it now becomes a different thing. So there you go. And she can feel free to comment in the chat and let me know what she thinks about those comments.
So you'll put her in your logo in your workspace, but you won't share the workspace is what I'm hearing. Like, I honestly, I kind of don't even really want to watch the rest of this video until you get off your ass and bring her sewing machine into that room. I hope it's heavy. Heavy.
Here's the thing. Let me address Vans real quick, and then I'll go to you, Oz. I felt like between the two of us as a couple, you really want to work together as a couple on things, right? And I felt like I was doing all the work when it came to shoving the kids out of the house. Like I was the one telling them, hey, you guys need to get out of here. I don't want you in my space anymore. And so what I needed to do was create a little incentive for her to want the next kid to move. So by creating my own work area now, I'm hoping that she'll see that and go, wow, that's kind of neat. I would like that. Let's get another kid out of the house. And then now maybe we'll both make it a toxic environment here and really get them to go out the door. So, Oz.
I was just, going to say I support G's hashtag here. Hashtag Darla needs more cape space. Big supporter of that.
I may be out of pocket here, but I will tell you that we've got some big things in the works right now when it comes to Darla and her capes, and trying to improve the supply to match the demand. So that's all I'll say about that right now. All right, here we go. Then got respirator here. You don't want to be breathing in particles. I mean, the paint that I'm using is not I just ripped that off on the thing. It's not like toxic or anything, but you still don't want particles and stuff.
Making meth or making customs?
Both. Nice. And then this is my airbrush station. So I got a little spinner here. These alligator clips come in handy for just kind of holding parts and painting if you need to. The idea with this setup was if I did want to use my airbrush for priming, like during the winter. Yes, Oz.
I gotta say, for somebody who hated airbrush like 3 weeks ago,
it's a couple months, but
it feels like 3 weeks ago. I remember a big rant about hating airbrushing. You've really embraced the full culture here. Like you're not even like, let me do some airbrushing outside. Now you got the air compressor at the desk. You got the box. I saw the ventilation on the back of the box. Again, Curtis, it shows a lot of growth in you over the last year, and I'm really proud of you for that. I'm really proud.
Well, here's the thing. It's hard to say that you hate something if you haven't tried it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to try it, you need to do it right. You don't want to I'll just pick up an airbrush gun and just shoot the particles right into my lungs and then say, I don't like it because it makes me cough. If you're going to do it, try it right and then make an honest assessment. And that's what I did. Similar to how I've got a lot of folks in my life that recommend Vallejo paint, and I've tried it and used it. And I can firmly say that it's absolute fucking dog shit. So, there you go. Van down at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm just wondering when you're going to cut the shit. I feel like Oz is already he's smelling the bullshit, but I'm just going to go ahead and address it. So when are you just going to stop the video and open up the pre-orders for the fucking t-shirt airbrushing business that you've now started in your space? Because I want an RIP to the homie shirt. I'd like you to I don't know, start doing caricatures. I mean, like, when are you going to set up an easel outside of your front porch and just like start making couple scenes? I mean,
yeah, I will say that I'm not fully drinking the Kool-Aid when it comes to airbrushing. I do believe it has its uses. I think it's really great for color shift paints. I think it's good for priming when it's cold outside. It's good for some shadowing and stuff like that. But it is not something I'm going to use on every single custom. I just recently did that Cobra Khan, which has a lot of different colors and transitions and things on it. And I had somebody actually, like, you know, start talking about the airbrushing on it. I'm like, there literally is zero airbrushing on that. There are certain things that you can accomplish with a rattle can or dry brushing that can make it look like airbrushing, but it doesn't have to be. So, you know, this is not something that I will use every single day or every single custom, and definitely not starting a t-shirt thing. But, you know, every now and then it'll have its uses.
We'll see what happens in 3 weeks.
That's true. That's true. Because I may grow some more. So here we go. That basically I could prime it here. FYI, I'll turn that's the exhaust. And I hate to keep stopping the video, but dissing Vallejo paints now, this streaming. Here's what I'll say. Vallejo paints are great for anybody who is still using just a regular plastic paint palette. If you haven't experienced the love and joy of a wet palette and actually mixing paints and keeping them wet and being able to use them for a long period of time, and you need something that is basically like an ink out of the jar in order to put on your figures, because you are too lazy to actually mix and add water and get them to the right consistency that you want, then Vallejo's great. But if you're not a lazy painter, I would not use Vallejo. I would use something different. So there you go. It's not terrible, but a little loud. But that'll also suck those particles up into there and filter them out. So between the respirator and that, you know, kind of double protection, some eyewear. So you got to take the proper precautions. I do have this that I found on YouTube. That was Bunny, by the way, making noises. Found this on YouTube. This is just a glass like spritzer bottle, but you fill this up like 3/4 with cleaner and then a 1/4 with the thinner, and then when you're switching in between colors, you can, you know, on the airbrush you can kind of dump out the bad stuff, spritz this in there a few times, you know, kind of do the bubbles to where it might mixes it up. You can kind of clean it pretty easy with this. So yeah, 3/4 cleaner, 1/4 thinner. So that's nice. I've also got just a regular just water bottle. Yeah, Van, you're muted.
Is it time to go off world?
No, but I do see you have your Legend Daddy's gear on, and we do appreciate that. So
okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to mail this to you to airbrush later.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Stored in there as well.
Nice cut, Van. Nice cut.
And then this is my, like to catch the stuff that I'm dumping out of the airbrush. So kind of throw it in here, and then dump this occasionally. So as far as working on parts, you kind of saw the alligator clips here. I also have like these foam blocks with these, you know, wooden sticks that have blue tack on them that just kind of hold the heads. So that's one option of doing things. So like you see here, with these, real quick, Gina says, how long does a wet palette keep the paint good for? Today I'll be hoping to remember her paint combo from last night, because the face is perfect, but her hands need more. So really good question. I do have a a wet palette tutorial over on the Wolf King Customs YouTube page. It's like 10 minutes long. There's a lot of different wet palettes that you can use and different things that you can use on the wet palette. There's papers that they offer. I use parchment paper. Depending on how much water you have in there and what thing that you're using for it to soak through, it depends. Like I've had stuff that I can come back a week later and it's still good and I can use it. But it really just depends on all those different things in there. But yeah, you can definitely keep it a lot longer. And that's the great part. If you are mixing colors, you're not one of these, I'm just going to get the closest out of a bottle and call it good enough. If you're actually mixing paints and coming up with a combination that you like, the wet palette is definitely the way to go. So,
yeah, I have a Army Painter wet palette just bought. It comes with the papers and the sponge and everything. And it works great. And was inexpensive. So
I get one from Amazon that's called Masterson. That's really good. It's like $10. I've got another video on this channel where I go through all my different tools. So if you see anything here, you're like, hey, I would like to know more of that. There's a video I did a few weeks ago on all the tools that I use. And that wet palette's like $10 or something. And then I just use parchment paper with it. So, all right. So like this one would be for, whatever you could put a head on there or a torso or something. This one I'm pretty happy with. This is blue tack with a penny inside. And this works really well for like waste pieces. So I think I've got one over here that I was working on. So I know I'm covering the camera. Bear with me. I'm covering up the camera, but
a bit of a scientist.
Yeah. So like here is a waste piece, and I'll just kind of throw this on here, and that holds it really nicely. So that penny inside with the blue tack really helps to kind of hold that, and then I'll just put that in this. I would like to say that whole penny idea is not something I picked up from anybody else in the community. That is my contribution to the community. So let it be known from this day forward, anybody that puts a penny inside of blue tack to hold their waste,
$200.
They got me. They got that from me. So yes, Van.
I'm as somebody who's going to be setting up an airbrush system here before too long. Your spray box that you is it spray box that we're calling it? Spray box.
It's an air brush filtration system or something.
Gotcha, spray box. So where is the ventilation going? Like I see the hose there that looks like a vacuum cleaner attached, unless that's actually something you use for intimate purposes. But where does the do you like point it out a window or?
This is a great question. I'm glad you asked this. So when I first got one, I was obviously a very much of a noob when it comes to airbrushing, because for the longest time I thought it was the devil. And so when I got this thing and it has this hose, I thought, okay, well, clearly you have this hose so that you can pump this thing out of your house. And so I would build my station. I would set up a TV tray, put it next to the front window, and I had this like really cramped space I was in trying to airbrush and shoot it out the window. And then I went to intern for a day this year and was talking with Cameron, and I saw inside his room he had basically the same exact filtration system, and he's in the middle of the studio, no window in sight. And I'm like, do you move that? Do you like go near a window and do that whenever you go to do it? And he goes, no. He said the with this system, like the whole way it's supposed to work is that filter that's down below catches all the particles, and what comes out the top is just clean air. So you don't need to pump it out of your house, which makes airbrushing a lot more accessible for a lot of people. I explain in here though that you still want to have a respirator to catch the stuff that's coming this way, and then the filter is going to catch the stuff going that way. But yes, what comes out the top is clean, and you don't have to pump it in a sort of special place.
Gotcha.
Which was a game changer for me. Yeah, Joe.
And the waste piece is not that penny with the blue tack is a great idea. I use chopsticks. I just leave them together. I don't break them apart and stick something in between them to spread them out a little bit. And those also hold wastes or other pieces that have a larger hole like that.
The views of Joe do not necessarily represent the views of the Rats show or the Just Shelve It channel. So,
I'm not on this channel. I'm just a guest. Sidekick.
Yeah, here we go. And that holds it nicely while I'm painting it. So that's kind of how that works.
That's my pill container. Yeah, vitamins, all that kind of good stuff. Gotta take that. Fan, air can. This works really nicely when you're sanding something or whatever. Maybe that buddy hair gets throughout the room, and you gotta get rid of some buddy hair. You can use this.
Peanut brittle.
I gotta yell at my son here.
Finish this video. Thank you.
Jeff.
Some more of the.
Jeff.
I love the Buddy Treats tray. Is that what?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second, but yeah, you got to have some Buddy Treats, otherwise he won't stay near me because he's not loyal at all. The only loyalty he has is food. So
I was like, is that?
That's how they got me here too, Jeff.
Yeah, when are the snacks being served?
That's like some fried cake parts of some sort. They're not ears, but they're like miscellaneous parts. Buddy likes them. Buddy, you want a treat?
We'll give your good puppers a treat.
Yeah, that is owner. Moving over, I got a shaker for paints.
He's the best.
Hard to do it with your hand, but like if I put a paint on here, it just shakes that up.
this is the vibration
So
part of the
there's a bunch different
episode.
brands on there, but
So yours stays on? You don't have to hold it?
on.
I do have to hold it. Yeah.
Okay.
Some files. Normally these will be put away in the bottom drawer, but I'm getting ready to do some epoxy sculpt work, so that's out. Same thing with the sculpting tools. Normally I wouldn't have those out, but
Van.
work with that.
So going back to the vibrating tool there,
Mhm.
when you're shaking up your paints, do you have to have your balls in it for it to work, or do you ever just shake them without the balls?
I've got the balls in them. Some of them I've got plastic balls. Some of them I've got the metal balls. But yeah, I do have the balls in them, but that's more for when I'm shaking it by hand. It's a pretty good shaker. I've seen some shakers where you can actually like strap it down and like go on and do something else while it's shaking, which is nice. But this was kind of cheap on Amazon. So
What's the depth on it?
I mean, I fit in it fine. So I mean, the paints work, underneath
For the
yeah.
balls?
Yeah. Just normal ball bearing size. So
This little container just holds, like, this is just some regular clay that like you would bake in the oven, and I don't use that really. But this is nice to kind of practice with some of the tools to see what kind of looks you can achieve. So one of the figures I'm getting ready to do, I want to create some like a fur look. So this helps you to kind of practice getting
That
to
white
look
silly
when
pipe?
you put it on something that's going to harden in so much time.
It's not,
because you
it's
don't
just
have so much
clay.
time to work with like that epoxy sculpt or green stuff or whatever you use. So this is nice to just kind of practice some techniques. Tissues, because you got to blow your nose. What are you gonna do? Coffee, kind of a must. Charbot. I am working on a project with some Charbots right now. There's going to be 2 of these little guys. Oh, hold on. You're listening to me on another video. That's a little tutorial of myself talking to myself. So these 2 Charbots are going to.
yeah, Oz.
Do you often watch your own tutorials to learn things?
I don't often watch my tutorials to learn things, but sometimes I will watch my tutorials to remember things. So, yeah,
It's a good call. I need to start recording things like that on my channel so I can remember things. I appreciate that pro tip. Thank you, Curtis.
yeah, absolutely.
It's like Memento.
That I'm working on. So yeah, awesome. These are awesome little guys. If you don't have one of these, talk to Brian Lynn, Carver Customs. These things are fantastic. I haven't actually painted one, even though I've had them for probably a year now.
Airbrush it.
But I've had a ton of fun just like playing with them and swapping out parts. There's like these different arms for it, different topper attachments. So yeah, I mean, I've played with these things a ton of times. I just haven't painted them yet. But the project that I'm working on calls for 2 of these. So yeah, I'm excited to get to that. This is a remote, and the remote I can change. So all of the lights underneath my painting area, the lights for the DTOF, that DTOF, and the sign are all controlled by this remote. So I can turn things off. I can turn things on. I can switch the colors. I want to make me and Darla blue, make the DTOS blue. I want to make them red. So all of that is controlled from that one remote. When I'm painting, I like to leave it with the white light. When I'm not painting, I kind of switch it to whatever I think, is right. Here I've got some, well, that is from Dang Studios. Translucent skull thing. I like that. Let's see, got some tools here. So this one is kind of, I've got like some screwdrivers and scissors and micro pen and some really like liner brushes and
yeah, Van. Oh, he just moved his hand. He wasn't.
Oh,
yeah.
no, actually, no. King Cuxel Seizure had a comment there that should definitely be addressed.
Yeah, I've used the purple light a lot. I didn't for this video, and I'm kind of ashamed of myself. So I was actually excited when Van didn't make mention of it. So thank you for throwing me under the bus, Nathan. I appreciate that.
That was growth.
That felt like it was getting me back for the Vallejo stuff, but that's cool.
needle nose pliers and some snippers and all kinds of shit in here. This is kind of like the catch-all BS. This is supposed to be over here.
This rig.
Wrong spot. So this is kind of my main brushes. So you've got like, this one is this one's a number 2. So that would be kind of more of a like a base painting kind of thing, not super detailed. You've got some brushes in the back that can be used for, kind of large coverage areas or even dry brushing, especially as those get worn out. They kind of, the bristles spread apart a little bit and become better for dry brushing. Then you've got like these, like the e.l.f. makeup brushes and stuff like that. I do keep this one. Is not actually, it is a dry brush, but I don't use it for dry brushing. This is a Martha Stewart brush that I got many years ago, and I use this for dusting. So if anything in my display case has dust on it, and I need to get the dust off, this is amazing for just dusting things. So just FYI. This is the Sog Monster from Captain Crunch cereal back in the day. I love the Sog Monster. So yeah, you can argue whether you like your Captain Crunch, crunchy right out of the bag. Just pour milk on it and go, and cut up the top of your mouth with razor blades, or you let it sit a little bit and get soggy. The Sog Master, he wants you to let it get dark. So next we got more of your kind of detail brushes. So these are going to be your more finer, like this one here is a 10/0. So that's going to be like super fine. We've got other ones in here. I use various different brands. Like this is a 5/0, so it's a little bit less fine, but still pretty small. But yeah, that's more kind of your detailed stuff. Another pair of snippers. That's the one I use most.
I don't mention it here, but that in front of that is a little like nail file sanding block. I do have sanding sticks that I'll show here in a bit, but if I just need to do a quick sand of something, that nail file sanding block works really well.
So I keep it closer to me. X-Acto knife. Try to have a spot.
Yeah, Oz.
Would you say that a sanding block or a sanding rod might be more efficient than a circular sanding paper?
I mean, I don't have the kind of connections with any folks that send me circular sanding papers. I think you have to be pretty important to get stuff like that. So I just make do with what I can find in the Amazon world.
And you find that is ample, though, correct? It's adequate.
it serves a purpose. There's many ways to skin a cat. I don't know why people are skinning cats, but there's definitely different ways that you can approach
Some
that.
people like it shaved.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Not here for everything, so that he
Dirk, shout out in the comments on how you like yours.
goes right back in its spot, and I know where to find it because my brain is really bad at just not knowing where stuff is, or even if it's right in front of me, not seeing it. But inevitably, even with this having its own space, I will lose this. It is the thing that I lose the absolute most, including one time where I put it next to me on the love seat for some reason, and I was looking for it and stabbed it about 3/4 of an inch into my leg. So there you go.
Life lessons, Curtis. Life lessons.
Got your Masters brush cleaner. Need that nearby for your brushes. Citadel water pot. I used to use just a Figure Obscura mug, but this thing is fantastic. Once again, check out my video on the Just Shell It channel for all my painting supplies. Some tweezers. Got some alcohol wipes here. These are very nice for lots of different things. Those are parchment papers for my wet palette. There's a video on the Wolf King Customs YouTube channel on how to use a wet palette. It's a little 10-minute video. They do have papers for the wet palette, but I prefer the parchment paper. It seems to let the water through a little bit easier, keep your paints nice and thin. Some super glue. I use the Loctite with the precision tip. Gel control. It works really nicely. Got another SOG Meister, Master, whatever, SOG dude, because they're awesome. This is my
Is the super glue also for when you cut yourself with the X-Acto knife?
No, I've not used it for that purpose. I mean, I guess I could, but no, it's
pro
usually-
tip.
Great.
yeah.
Works really good for that.
Yeah, it's usually for more like the customs and stuff I'm working on, especially if I break something. So
Staples also work good.
oh, nice.
I need to find a better container for this because I knock this thing over and lose them all the time. But this is my little kind of cotton swab pointed.
Yeah, Van.
When you knock those over, do you count them before
No,
you
I don't.
Put them back in the container?
Not at all. No.
I was just curious. Okay.
Cotton swabs and different things here. So you've got like really tiny ones here that I can get into little crevices. Like if, let's say a wash or something pools up in an area and I want to get it off there, or I paint over in an area that I'm not supposed to when I'm doing some details. This is kind of the same one, but a little bit thicker, so a little wider. This one is a smaller one.
Yeah, Jeff.
If anybody in the chat knows or can create a cap for Curtis's tip holder,
Yeah.
please reach out to
The problem is I would like to have something that's bigger around and like a sturdier base so that it's not so top heavy, but you also have to have it short enough that you can grab the things that are in there. Like you can't, if it's too tall, then I'm not going to be able to reach in and grab it. So yeah, it's a unique size, and we've looked in all the different kind of organizers and things like that, and I haven't been able to find something that works better than this. But
Why not just Bob for apples?
I could try that. Yeah.
What's that on
Chode
the on the screen right now? To the left of the Masters brush cleaner.
Well, you've got a Charbot saw blade there, and then you've got a little Meep that I'm working on. So, which I'll talk about here in just a second. So,
Okay, good.
On a wooden stick, so it's a lot stronger. If I need to kind of really scrub in an area or something. And then these are just
Gina calling me out.
I mostly use these for either scooping out paint to put into dropper bottles, or if I'm sculpting, things like that. So there's that. Dry brush palette, which didn't used to use, but these are really nice because using just paper towel can kind of absorb all the medium in your paint and make it to where it looks like powdery when you dry brush, and you don't want it to look powdery. So this is really nice for that. Paper towel for just when I'm cleaning brushes. Wet palette. Open that up real quick. So, that's the current state of my wet palette. I need to change that out because I'm getting ready to start a new project. Let's see. Sanding sticks. Sanding sticks are really nice. If you've got any like supports on a 3D
I have the same wet palette.
or anything that you're customizing, if you're doing sculpting work or whatever, like I was just recently working on this figure for this is Jesse's Meep logo. So this is that figure here. But it fell over a lot. It didn't have a lot of weight to it. So I kind of opened up the neck a little bit. I added a bunch of ball bearings into the bottom, like put it inside and glued it so that it.
Yes, Fan. I did say that I put my balls in Jesse's Meep.
Yep.
There you go. I kind of knew that. Jordan. Yeah, I figured that was coming. So
they didn't shake, but it added a lot of weight to it. And then I sanded the fronts of the feet down a little bit so it wouldn't fall backwards. It kind of goes more forward. And then there was, kind of the print had a bunch of, I don't know if it was from supports or whatever, it had a bunch of marks on it, but I sanded those down. It's not perfect, but I'm going to add epoxy sculpt to this and do some sculpting of fur to make it kind of a little bit more furry. So that's a little insight to a project that I'm working on. But when you're sanding and stuff, these come in great. They have a set on Amazon that's not expensive, and it goes from 80 grit all the way up to 7,000. So you can get things like super rough and just really take it down, and you can go all the way to like glass to where it's.
Yeah, Jeff.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are in the chat now wanting to get their own Meep.
So what I would say is I believe that was done by Mark Rivera. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if there's any more, and I don't know if there were ever plans to update the file. It's from a while back. So you could I would reach out to Jesse and he could direct you if he does have it. I would say that if it was Mark or whoever it was, I would say they probably would, if I was a betting man, would want to go back and kind of maybe add some more sculpt details, maybe change up things a little bit so it's a little sturdier. So they might want to modify that because I don't think they've printed it up in years. But I would message Jesse if that's something that you're interested in. So
cool, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Just super smooth. So then up here in front of me, I've got all my paints. So these are the main ones. I showed you kind of my backup paints earlier, but these are like my main paints.
Before we get into the paint discussion, let me pull up this giveaway and see where we're at. Remember, you can win more than once, so feel free to put in for that, even if you've already won. And I'm not seeing the giveaway tool right now. There it is. Okay, there it is. So here we go. Right now we got 37 people in there. We've got 36 watching. So I guess it's everybody, more than everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this, and then we'll queue up that last giveaway for the Fisher Rice. So here we go. Let's see.
Will there be a customizing studio today?
There will. Hopefully we can wrap this up here before that starts. So
congrats, Luke.
Congrats, Luke.
So we've got 2 winners so far.
You okay?
I wouldn't have mind shipping all this to one person, but the chat said 3 giveaways, so we'll do 3 giveaways.
That's what you get for
asking.
For
you, Curtis. I was there for you.
Hey, we gotta make the people happy. So,
give the people what they want.
Yeah. Loop and Thanos, just message me with your info, Instagram or Facebook, and I will get those out right away. So,
Curtis, if you still just want to mail it to one person, you can just send it to me, and I'll be okay with upsetting the people.
Oh, okay.
I'll fall on that sword for you.
That's cool.
My gift to you. Merry Christmas.
Damn, why didn't I think of that?
I just thought of it first. He just hadn't chimed in yet.
let's queue up this next giveaway, which is hashtag best cosmic ever.
My number one figure of the year.
This is the new Fisher Rice. I'm not going to say where it lands on mine, but I will say it made me think about my top 10 for sure.
You keep pronouncing Richard Simmons incorrect. I just want to point that out.
I didn't even remember that I did pronounce that at all. So,
happened while you were sweating with the oldies. It's okay.
Gotcha.
Best Cosmice Ver.
Agreed.
Give away. All right. Let's throw this ticker on here. Best cosmic ever for the Fisher giveaway. Once again, that figure. Here it is. Let's embiggen me.
Can we see it again?
Yeah, this thing is amazing. If you haven't gotten one yet, maybe hopefully you'll win this one. And if not, go to your retailers, get them as quick as you can because they're going like hotcakes. These things are going to go high on the aftermarket. I'm telling you right now. I am the one warning you. I don't make predictions. I make promises. 4 heads, 3 necks, 2 chest plugs, 2 sets of arms, 2 sets of legs. The most detailed painted weapons you've ever seen. This thing is fire. So yeah, get it while the getting's good.
Now give them your affiliate link.
Yeah, I don't profit from that. There were actually, I don't profit from anything that I've talked about today. So even the videos that I've recommended people to go to, the Charbots, the Think the Mythic Bits, the Strups Soft Goods, which I don't even know if they make anymore. Bill Mancuso's watch, this Fisher Rice. I don't make money from any of this stuff. So, you can believe me or not believe me, but I'm telling you,
Can't get that stuff.
this thing's awesome. So, all right, let's go back to the video and let's start talking about my paint setup. Here we go. So you've got, here we've got a lot of the SoFlats. I really love the SoFlat paints. They're used by the studio a lot, recommended by the studio. They're great. They do not come in these bottles, though. They come in like these bottles here. This is a 2-ounce bottle, and then they also have a 4-ounce bottle here, which is a little bit bigger. But they're not the easiest to kind of work out of. So I put them in dropper bottles. These are just the Pro Acryl dropper bottles, and then I label them. So that's kind of the main set here. Yeah, Jeff.
Are you using a funnel to?
No, I just pour it in there. So it pours pretty nicely. Once I'm finished, I do get a little bit on the lip that I have to wipe out with one of the Kleenex that I have next to me. That's normally for blowing my nose. Van.
Yeah. So I'm curious, when you started painting with the SoFlat paints, did you have to reteach yourself how to hold the paintbrush so you could keep your pinky up as you're painting, or does that just naturally happen once you dip your brush into SoFlat?
No, it's a good question. So what I would say is that when you're first starting out painting, while I do think there's some benefits to starting with SoFlat from a coverage standpoint, if you don't really care what color you're using and you're just practicing and stuff, SoFlat would be great for you. If you're trying to get a specific color, SoFlat does not have the range of colors that some other companies do, to where you have 50 different flesh tones and all this kind of stuff. So you do have to be able to mix paints and get to the color that you're looking for, which is kind of an acquired skill. It's not something that just happens. You have to kind of learn a little bit about color theory and what, if something looks too, much of this color, what do I need to add to kind of take that color off of it? So it takes a little bit to get used to it. They have put out some new colors lately, but it is something that you have to kind of work towards. Now, I wouldn't say that it's pricey and pinky up kind of thing, but it is something that you kind of have to work your way into, kind of mixing paints and getting the colors right. So does that answer your question?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, but they're not terribly expensive. I mean, you
get a lot in the container.
You get a lot in the container. And because it's something that, are more kind of basic colors, you'll get a lot of use out of it. Like, especially like your black, your red, like your kind of basic colors. There is a set on Amazon. Once again, don't profit from this. But there's a 6-pack on Amazon with some basic colors that will get you really far. So just FYI. Here we go.
Alex above that. Shade above that. As you go here, I've got what I've used for a lot of skin tones. So like Fury Clan, Caucasian skin tones, skeleton, darker flesh tones, kind of across. More metallics here on this row, and then into my contrast paints, more contrast here, contrast over there. I don't use contrast a ton, but I like having a variety of them to use when I need it. And then you've got some different kind of one-off weird things up here. So this liquid mask is nice to kind of mark off an area if you're painting that you don't want to go over into. Liquid green stuff is nice if you need to do just some small filling in of something, like you're not going to do full-on sculpting, but you want to fill like a crack between two pieces, or like, for instance, that Cobra Khan that I worked on, I made a gun for him. And so I combined part of a tusk gun with a mace. And, when you're putting two parts together, you get those seams between them, and you want that to look seamless. You want it to look like one piece. So this liquid green stuff works really nicely for that. You just kind of put it on between the transition between the two pieces, sand it down, and now it looks like one piece. So here's some of I have a couple of technical paints here. Love these. This is Sterling Mud. It's got like a sandy grit to it, which is really nice if you want to add.
I wanted to pull this up from Brick. Says this studio tour is cool. Did you say if you're going to upload the video to the channel separate? It'll stay on this channel. So if anybody wants to refer back to it, it'll be here. I do have, once again, another video on this channel that has like a lot of the tools that I use, and kind of it even has links to Amazon and different places on where you can get them. So if there's something that you're seeing in this that you're like, hey, I would like to purchase that, and you're having trouble finding it, if you go over to that video, there's links right in the description on where to get that stuff. Yeah, Jeff.
I think Brick is trying to say just the tour video, so he doesn't have all these.
Oh, so you don't have to have the comments and ban and stuff. I can try to do that. We'll see. This was kind of the plan for this, was to be able to talk through and answer some questions for some folks, but we may do that. We'll see.
Just Brick, enjoy this video the way it comes.
I think Brick's just tired of my crap.
More like gravel. It is really thick and heavy, so if you wanted to add some debris to something, that's nice. Some down here that I don't use as much, you got some glow. This is let's see, Aurora bright green for some glow. Got some snow effects, some ice, liquid frost. If you're gonna do some rust stuff, I don't do a lot of rust, but your Rise of Rust. Got your Typhoid's Corrosion, some what is that, Garagax Sewer. So if you're trying to dirty stuff up, it's down here towards the end because I don't do as much dirty stuff. I try to keep the clean aesthetic.
Michael Casper says the liquid mask is Vallejo. Yes, it is. Not all Vallejo is shit. I will say I love the color shift paints, even though 90% of them come out green, regardless of what it says on the bottle. There are a few that are really good. Their airbrush stuff is really nice. They're cleaner, thinner, that kind of stuff. And their liquid mask is nice, but their everyday normal paints, yeah, they're shit. So
that's kind of my paints. I do have a new TV that I just put up here. That's one of
the tutorials that I did on Wolf King Customs, I was just taking a look at where I worked on some, like just painting some armor up. I do have this magnifier here, magnify with the light for when I'm working. Very helpful. So super nice. Down below, I got a couple things. So this came with my desk, and it's like I guess it's to hold like tools and stuff. It's like a little portable toolbox. I'm not sure what I'm going to use that for yet, but I'm keeping that down there just in case. Paper towels. Oh, you guys got to have extra paper towels. This is just an extra catch-all bullshit box. So it's a lot of, shields and swords and armor and arms and legs and different mythic parts in it.
Like that chest.
Every so often, maybe once or twice a year, I'll take this box and sort it all out and put them in those, containers over there that we showed earlier. But it's getting pretty full. It's about that time to sort those.
It saddens me you threw the ash can in a box.
Project container that I use. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. So if I have parts that I need to take downstairs for whatever reason, I need to prime them outside, or maybe I'm working on a project downstairs instead of upstairs, I can put my project in there and then carry.
Just real quick, because you had mentioned that chest. So this is another one that I have, and it's got like the gold coins in here. I saw somebody I think it was on the Cabal posted it, where you can just they have like, what is it called? It's the stuff for, when you're doing like scrapbooking stuff. They've got like gold ones. That's like a background that you put your photos on top of and stuff. And you can just kind of take 2 sheets of the gold, put it back to back, and then just use a hole punch to cut them out. And I just dumped a bunch of coins on me. But yeah, you can make a little chest full of gold coins and stuff to put with like your snag figures and whatnot. And then Nathan says, if you don't love Vallejo at their worst, you don't deserve them at their best. I disagree. I pick and choose from a lot of different lines. I've got deco art and folk art and Vallejo and all kinds of stuff. I'm a big fan of, you just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. You're going to like certain stuff. You're going to not like certain stuff. So, yeah, do what works for you. So,
back and forth. Trash can, gotta have some trash. Shout out to all my Dirk's dumpster dudes. Over here, got some more loose figures. These are Bagman loose, kind of a lot of Legion Builder type things. Got retailer appreciation things in there, some things I got from Len. Some Fisher Rice figures, got a case of those. Best Cosmic figure ever. Super value for the money. If you haven't got those, get those. And then up here, we kind of skipped this area earlier, but this is like my photo area. So a lot of my photos you'll see in this photo box here. I use these acrylic stands a lot. There's little like squares. I just got these when I got my my TV. It had these on the end of the styrofoam. Hashtag hate styrofoam. But at the end of them, they had these, and it's not even like, it's not cardboard. It's like particle board, but it's really solid. And anyways, I liked the look of it. It kind of looked like dirt to me. And I found out that even if you kind of put it under the acrylic one, kind of creates a nice little look of almost being on dirt. So I don't know, I might use that in some photos. But a lot of my photos are in this photo box here. It does have a light on the side, so you can light it from above. Sometimes I will block some of the light from the camera. I've got like a bounce card that I use. So a lot of my photos are in here. But I also have a few dios. You got a Crashbox dio there for Cosmic. This one was put together by Mr. C on Instagram. Mr. C 5050 does amazing work. He does like really huge giant dios, and then he between those big projects he works on some like DTOF size ones. So if you need a dio from him and you don't have a massive area, I would hit him up for his little dial ones that he does in between because they're fantastic. So this one here is a little dungeon with a grate at the bottom that you can put a figure inside, and it's got shackles on the wall and all that kind of stuff. He does excellent work. So and then over here you got another Crashbox one. It's the Echelon set. 2 walls, a door, and I can kind of reconfigure this. You got different floor pieces and the walls, everything can move. So the idea with this setup is that I can, if, let's say it's wintertime and I want to work on a project, I kind of piece the project together here. I can prime the project here. I can, if I'm doing airbrushing, I can airbrush it here. I can come over here and paint the project, and then I can photograph the project and then put it in the DTOF. So I tried to get everything as organized as possible so that, it just makes everything a lot more seamless. So that is my customizing area. I will be posting this. I usually do a lot of live stuff, so I got to figure out posting this. I don't think I'll edit it at all. But hope you'd enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions, or you have any thoughts, if I missed anything, if there's something that you would have had here to make it even more efficient, let me know. But the idea is that I kind of have this set up to where it will allow me to get more stuff done without being scatterbrained and having problems and stuff. So, like for instance, just give one more example here before I close out the video. But like when I'm painting, a lot of times, like let's say I'll usually work with like 3 or 4 colors. So let's say I was gonna, I've got a color wheel across there, and let's say I was working with, 3 colors, and I would say I'm gonna start with blue, right? And then straight across from blue, I got orange. So that would be a nice like secondary color, blue and orange. And then let's say for an accent color, I wanted to use like green, and I was going to use like a, kind of a more military type green. So like if I was going to use these colors, I might have these on my desk, and then I might have, black, because you may need to darken some stuff up. Maybe I would have like a red in case I want to darken up the red, the orange or something. And let's say I needed to make something metal, and I have a metallic on there. So in the past, my desk would kind of look like this, and maybe one of these would be back here and one of these would be over here. They'd be all over. And then I would be using my wet palette, and I'd go, okay, I need that green. And then I'm sitting here looking, and it'll be right here in front of me, but I'm looking all over and I can't find it. So the idea with this setup is, put all this stuff back before I freak out. So the idea with this setup is that instead of putting the stuff on the table in front of me, that I would go, okay, I need blue, put it on my wet palette, and then it goes right back up here in front of me. I'm not having to move. I'm not having to get out of my seat. I'm not having to overextend. It's right in front of me. I need my orange. Get my orange, wet palette, right back up there. So my hope is that by keeping everything in its specific spot, that I will be less likely to lose it, less likely to get frustrated, and I will be able to keep productive. Because a lot of times when I wasn't painting, it would be like, oh, let me go and deal with my work area.
I want to pull up this comment real quick. Brick says, fair enough, Oz. I consider my kids to be my 2 favorite custom action figures, but like all my toys, if the price is right. Here's what I would say. If you have your kids move out of your house, it's not like selling a toy, right? If you sell a toy, like you're done with it. You don't have access to it anymore. Your kid moves out of the house, you're still going to see them. They're going to come back and do laundry or want a free meal, or, be like, oh, it's Christmas time or it's my birthday or whatever. You're still going to get those experiences with them. You're just not going to have them take up
active room in your house. So it's something to think about.
I was just teasing Brick because his kids aren't quite old enough to be kicking them out of the house yet. So.
Well, I've got a little tip for that here. So here
matter of perspective.
I don't know where stuff's at. Maybe I just finished a project and I didn't clean up when I got done. I just hated it. So hoping that this new setup allows me to do it much more efficiently, because before this, I was literally sitting on the love seat in my living room with like a TV stand, TV tray, like the foldable ones, in front of me with a wet palette and one of these magnifying lights on it. And then I would just have to like grab stuff and put it on that little tray and work from there. And it was terrible. So hopefully this is a lot better. And hope you enjoyed this. If you would like an area like this as well, what I would advise is get your kids out of your house. Go get them out, make sure that they can take care of themselves. They know how to, feed themselves and clothe themselves. And, they're, over 12 or whatever. Yeah, get them out of your house. Get your space back. Live your life. So
give the kids $20 and wish them the best of luck.
Until next time, be creative. Thanks. See you guys. There you go. So I'm not sure how we took a 30-something minute video and stretched it out to almost 2 hours, but we did it. Congratulations. I think Jeff is maybe pointing fingers at people, which we don't really do here on Rats.
I'm ratting them out.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Joe, do you mind informing Jeff as to what snitches get? Because apparently
they get stitches, Jeff. They get stitches, buddy.
I thought they get bitches.
No, that's somebody definitely.
That's a different YouTube channel.
Yeah. Tires and fires aren't the only things we're kicking and lighting, Jeff. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, all right. Any final questions, comments from the folks on the screen or folks in the chat? Hit me up.
I just want to say, Curtis, in all seriousness, but we do joke around a lot, but you did some incredible work from a TV tray, man, for real. And I'm really happy for you that you get to have, because you can tell throughout the video how happy this setup makes you, like how much more comfortable you're going to be customizing there. And I'm really happy for you for that. So that's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, it was a struggle, and I'm definitely excited for the new area because I just feel like I'm going to be able to do a lot more. And for me, the hobby itself has been very helpful. I told a story a few weeks back that, just kind of like gave an insight into my day on how scattered my brain is. But, I'll start with one project, and halfway through I get distracted by something else. And then I get distracted by a third thing. And the next thing you know, I'm working on like 10 things at once. And when I'm painting, especially when I'm detail painting, so like the trim on armor or eyes or whatever, it's so hyper focused that all that other noise blurs out, and I'm able to it's like quiet time for my brain. It's like that moment in the house, like when you realize like the kids went to school and maybe the wife went grocery shopping or something, you realize there's nobody in the house but you, and you're like, wow, this is quiet. This is nice. That's what it's like in my brain when I'm painting. So yeah, I'm excited to have an area where I'll be able to do that more and feel more comfortable and hopefully get more accomplished. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. After watching this, I feel like I should give this customizing thing a try.
I'm thinking about it myself right now, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really artistic, but might be worth a shot.
Come join the customizing studio in less than
like 7 minutes. We'll be starting the customizing studio.
There we go.
That's what the push to end is. I got you.
Yeah. So
I was going to ask if there was a place that if people wanted to continue this conversation and perhaps their journey into customizing and painting and watching Curtis become a complete hypocrite with his airbrush, where do they do this at?
Yeah, the best place would be the customizing studio. So for those that haven't heard me talk about it 10 million times and aren't tired of it yet, We do a video chat on Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern, on Facebook through Messenger. You just have to let me know that you want in the chat. There's a main chat that kind of goes all the time. It's very busy. I would advise if you're in there to mute the chat and kind of go in as you need it, because there's like a few hundred messages a day. But within that, there's a lot of people sharing the projects they're working on, like midway. There's people asking for
color matches,
different paints and brushes and all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of great knowledge in there. You've got some folks that are just getting started. You know, Gina is really early on in her customizing journey. And then you've got folks like Emil who are doing, you know, fantastic, amazing tributes, and like people are selling their houses in order to buy his customs. So yeah, I mean, you've got just a wide range of different experiences in there, and people just sharing knowledge and having fun. And then when we do the actual studio itself, you know, we're in there, we got our cameras going, and we're all working on our individual projects, and it's just kind of a nice fellowship hangout kind of thing. 1 p.m. Eastern on Sundays is the time that we always are going, but I know that that time doesn't work for everybody. Some people have family stuff or football or church or whatever. That's not the only time that we do the studio. Like literally anybody that's in that group can start one at any point. If somebody wanted to do one at Friday at 2 a.m., they could do one. Now you may not get many people to join you Friday at 2 a.m., but you can start a studio whenever you want. 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday is the time that I've decided works really well for me. And I kind of set up as kind of the standard. We're always going to do it. But don't feel like you're not able to be part of it because that specific time doesn't work for you. So if you're interested, shoot me a message. I'll add you to the main group, and whenever we do a call, you can be included in that. So
except for Jeff, because he's a snitch and now he's booted. Gotcha. Heard.
Oh,
yeah, I read between the lines.
Gotcha. I mean, the problem is that we've already got Liz in there. We would like to keep Liz, and we can't stop her from letting him be on screen. So,
well, I mean, she doesn't strike me as a snitch, so I'm fairly certain that she will self-police and just kick him out of the room. So, yeah,
Gotcha.
Sorry, Jeff.
She
You
knows
did this to
what's
yourself,
up.
buddy.
Yeah, maybe she can set him straight. You know, maybe he can grow like I have. Like, you know.
I
yeah.
believe in him.
Yeah.
I believe in him.
She's the legend, mommy.
Interesting. That sounds like a video coming. Liz, the legend, mommy.
I hope Jordan's still listening.
Yeah.
MAMI.
Break says 2025 is supposed to be the year I start, so I'd love to come by, hold me to that. Yeah, I would say, you know, obviously swapping is a great place to start with customizing, and then from there, start with some rivets, start with some trim on figures and stuff. That video that I was showing that I was watching myself, which is on the Wolf King Customs page. You know, that one just talks about painting trim on figures. So like you get a Legion builder and you just paint some accent trim. It's really like coloring inside the lines. Like if you ever colored as a kid, like it's kind of like paint by numbers. You just go, okay, I'm going to, you know, these parts on here, I'm going to paint red. And then you just color in where they've already sculpted the details. Like some of this stuff, not some of it, most of this stuff, Eric Treadaway has done such a good job at sculpting these figures that it really is easy to just put some paint to the details that he sculpted and make it pop. And that's what's so great about it. That's why they've got so much use out of these tooling over the years, is because there's all this detail that they can paint one way one day, and then the next day paint completely different. You can even use the same colors and just choose different things that you're going to hit and make it look completely different. So it's a great line to work on with customizing, whether it's Cosmic or Mythic. But Cosmic's better, right, Jeff?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of Cosmic, let's go and pull the
bring it home, mommy. Let's bring it home.
Best Cosmic ever.
Jordan, you better enter.
The Fisher Rice. We have got 2 minutes till the customizing studio is supposed to start. So we'll give it a minute here and get some more people in here. We got 41 people watching. We got 34 entered. Remember, if you've already won, that's fine, because that's going to cut down on shipping for me. But yeah, get this Fisher Rice because it is amazing. So, and yeah, I use that new TV to watch Kent's videos. But I use my phone for comments because YouTube likes comments and Kent likes comments.
After
you
the
gotta
video's over.
read the
Yeah, after the
comments.
stream. Please.
Yeah. Yeah. I leave the comments as I'm watching. Here's a little, while people are entering, we're giving a little bit more time. As I'm watching Kent's videos, I will leave comments as I'm watching the video. So by the time it's instead of having one comment where I just kind of summarize my thoughts, I'm commenting as I watch it, which does a couple things. Number one, I can kind of be in the moment, feel like I'm there with Kent, like as he's going on these toy hunts. But then also it makes more comments because instead of having one thing to say, I may have 5 or 6 things to say. So,
and also be sure to like, subscribe, because that's the only way Trevor Williams is going to know that we're here and we want him to be here with us.
Yeah.
Not just in spirit.
Trevor has got a like dar. And anytime that you like something, Trevor knows where you're at. So
he does have excellent radar.
Yeah. So, all right, we got 36 people in there. We are going to pull this prize. This is for the Fisher Rice.
Well.
And here we go. Good luck, everybody. Click, 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 click. Awesome.
Hey! Congrats,
Very
Oz.
nice. Very
Great
nice.
job, Oz.
Yeah, great. Oz.
Congrats.
That's going to come in great. Awesome.
Oh, I'm excited.
Beautiful. Well, for Oz and Thanos and Loop, send me your guys' information, and I will get these out tomorrow. We'll get
I'm
these
just
all
mostly
out.
glad that Jeff didn't win.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Got Nathan saying rigged. No?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't figured out how to break into the StreamYard algorithm yet for the giveaway tool, but sure, I'll accept that you think that I'm that smart.
We're working on it.
Just got to be
top men working on that. Top men.
Yeah. Well, guys, appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. Everybody in the chat, everybody on screen. Thank you, everybody. I didn't have to just sit here and talk to myself about myself. If you have any questions, you need any help, you want to be part of the customizing studio, or you just want to tell me that I'm full of shit and that this ran way too long, let me know. Put it in the comments, shoot me a PM, show up in Missouri and smack me around, whatever. So, yep. All right.
Time to go off world.
Absolutely.
Play the song again. You can do it.
I will play the song, but it's the one with me singing. So
play the off world song.
No, we can't. I can't. It's a different brand. This is Rats. Here we go.
Come on.
These are a few of our random ass things.